Okay, so you guys know this goober, this Pegasus guy, right? You know how he has just been milking the Mr.Beast situation nonstop, and he said it was finally the end? Well, he was wrong, because he should have saved that title for what dropped last night and what's going to happen next. All jokes aside, I actually do like Pegasus, and I think it's fine for him to make a bag and make content from this. I genuinely have no issue with that. I'm totally not jealous. Totally. Okay, I'm definitely jealous, but that's besides the point. Let's get to the real stuff right now, okay? Last night, another Mr.Beast video has unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you favor the situation anyways, another video hit Mr.Beast's career. While I personally think a good 70% of the video is just whining about not liking your job, there are some very serious things that were disclosed in this video, which honestly isn't even that unknown. The information I'm going to talk about today was actually very, very open. It's just that very few people cared to cover it back then. More than likely, the reason this fell through the radar at the time, sort of, maybe because it was sort of like an open secret. Many people knew about this apparently, but very few people actually addressed it or commented on it. Let me jog some of your memories for those of you who are blissfully unaware. Do you guys remember that time Chris Tyson made a tweet calling out Jake the Viking for not defending his family from his brother-in-law? Well, we got further context to this claim in the new dog pack video, among other horrible things that we'll get into. So, somewhere towards the end of the video, it was actually revealed that Mr.Beast had a manager employed who was fully known to be a registered sex offender. Apparently, everyone knew this to be the case because the guy had a nickname, the nickname being Delaware. Why? Because the incident they're referring to occurred in Delaware.
Not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you were a registered sex offender? But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? And I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
At first, some people could say this is just anecdotal, this is just he said, she said. He might be claiming they all knew for the sake of sensationalism, but that doesn't really appear to be the case. Let's take a look at the actual registry information. This individual was convicted for rape of the 4th degree to an individual who was only aged 11 years old while he himself was 16. As we can see here, he had to go straight on the registry as a result of this conviction in 2010, so this man has actually been on that list for 14 years now. Obviously, this is disgusting. This is not excusable by any means, and the fact this person was only given probation for 3 years is a slap in the face. It's even worse when you consider the fact that the people who employed him definitely knew, and if you want more evidence of this fact, we can look into Twitter interactions between Jake the Viking and other individuals where they acknowledge this. So this chain of tweets, from what I can infer, is Jake replying to Chris Tyson's now deleted tweet, and this is how it goes. Jake Franklin says, "Find one thing I've said that's transphobic. I'll wait." Connor Dale then says, "Did you not hire him to be your manager after the fact?" And then Jake says, "No, but Beast did." And then another person said, "Dog, your sister married a pedo." And then Jake says, "Just to keep the conversation simple and not to get into the important details that Chris decided to leave out, again, what does that have to do with me?" The fact that Jake is conveniently dodging this yet decided to make these tweets is so funny, because who are you to make allusions to things while also admitting the fact that you yourself knew of a situation that was just as bad or worse than Chris Tyson? Oh, and just to cement this even further, there's also this interaction here, starting with Robo saying, "I think I'm gonna tell the school about your brother's criminal record so you can't record high schoolers anymore." And then Jake says, "Figured you'd have a shit response. You're shallower than I imagined. What would the actions of my brother-in-law with an instance that happened before I even knew him have to do with me? Take some time to think of a good response." There's also this other tweet that Internet Anarchist posted saying the sex offender in Mr.Beast's team was Jake the Viking's brother-in-law. And then he screenshotted this tweet by Jake that says, "They are calling my brother-in-law / manager Delaware, and because that's his name." Luckily, I managed to get a full screen grab myself before the tweet got deleted for further proof. All of this goes to show a few points. None of these people are as credible or as authentic as they claim. Even the biggest people that appear to be the nicest and cleanest have something shady in the background, and Mr.Beast has been making drastic mistakes for quite a while. I'm not sure the validity of this, but apparently this individual Delaware has actually appeared in a couple of videos, or one video, I'm not too sure, as a masked individual. I did see this tweet though where someone points out the fact that the current up-to-date registry with his picture looks similar to the masked individual in the Mr.Beast video. I'm just going to show it to you guys, and you guys can take it as you will. I'll say this, if this person has participated in Mr. Beast videos masked, that's an incredibly, incredibly bad look. It's also a very dangerous thing to have allowed if you were to imagine worst case scenarios. That's as much as I'll say on that matter though, as I do not want to make even bolder conjectures. Additionally, if claims are to be believed, people at Mr. Beast were apparently trying to get his record expunged.
So apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the Mr. Beast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually sparked this person to start recording.
Again, take that as you will. I just wanted to show some more details, but this is not a good look because it does not help the Mr. Beast harbors PDF's narrative. This is all an incredibly, incredibly bad look, and unless they have some incredibly good excuse for this, which is unlikely, I think a lot of people are going to take this as the nail in the coffin. And the best part is, Dogpack apparently has a third video in the works, so it's not even over yet. Let's touch on Mr. Beast's mistakes one more time though. In the video, Weddle had complained about less than enjoyable work conditions, which honestly, okay, whatever, who cares? Everyone has bad days at work, and most people do not like working, so that's besides the point, because he was leading up to this the entire time, and that's the fact that he was allegedly one of the first individuals to have tried a survive 30 days challenge for Mr. Beast, and according to him, it went horribly. He described the experience as it being akin to torture, and honestly, while at first I thought it was a petty complaint, I thought it was hyperbolic, I can actually see that from this perspective.
I just wanted to turn the lights off, and I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off, and I go up to my friend, my good friend, and I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
Weddle seemed to be really upset about the fact that while he was participating in this challenge, it was difficult for him to get any sleep because the production team allegedly refused to turn off the lights. And really upset is an extreme understatement because Weddle actually broke down and cried while filming this interview. Again, at first, I didn't see this as that big of a deal until you realize how detrimental that actually is to someone's health, especially when sleep deprivation is involved. The thing that further did this alleged complaint in for me was this though. They didn't start turning off his lights until after it was noticed that he was having an extremely hard time sleeping, and people picked up on the fact that his mental health had been drastically deteriorating. And just to add the cherry on top, when Weddle tapped out and a replacement was found, based on Weddle's claims, the replacement was actually given the privilege to turn off the lights, which I think is a huge, huge slap in the face to Weddle. Again, this is all alleged. This is stuff that he's claiming. Yes, I did think this was silly at first. I think others did too. But genuinely, I believe that anyone would have felt a huge sense of betrayal had they have gone through a sort of sleep deprivation, being an employee, only for the guy to replace you to not have to endure the same thing, and then probably went on to earn $300,000. While I do think most of this video is petty complaining, there is actually something huge that I think everyone should take away from this. And it's the fact that according to Weddle, people were discussing the negativities behind this challenge after witnessing how badly he was affected and how bad of an idea it was. And unfortunately, Weddle had to be a lab rat in all of this before standards and procedures change in the future to better accommodate future challenges. That being said, because of this reason alone, I think Weddle deserves a ton of respect and acknowledgement for essentially setting a standard of how contestants should be treated, and it's incredibly unfortunate he had to endure what I would like to call some of their production's very, very terrible mistakes. I don't even think mistakes is a good word to use in this case. Maybe you can say negligence, irresponsibility, incompetence. You name it, I guess. It's very evident that these individuals should have had the foresight to set standards and practices that would better accommodate the safety and well-being of their contestants. That being said, there's a lot to take in from this situation. Go draw your conclusions by watching Dogpack's video. Take everything I said in this video as you will. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.